So let's talk about tariffs. So I know a lot of left-wing media are talking about the truth of tariffs, which is that if they're implemented, number one, they're hard to remove. Number two, it's going to push inflation. A lot of people are struggling right now to pay for groceries and a lot of different things. Tariffs would make it much worse because the person paying the tariff is the importer. And also, there's a lot of people that are putting out this cartoonish idea that the companies are just going to manufacture domestically. But the reality is, even if that is what they decide to do, it's not going to happen right away, right? They would have to build the facilities, they would have to staff up. That's going to take money and time. And in the meantime, prices are going to be up. And then when they're done doing that, they're not going to be giving us competitive prices, right? They just spent a whole bunch of money, expanding their business to do manufacturing here. So they're gonna want to get their money back, and that's gonna be, gotten from a price premium. And it's not even just that. Also, they're not gonna be able to produce things as cheaply as they do in other countries. Just did my 10 push-ups for the day. That's my new goal. Something is better than nothing. Do what you can, when you can, while you can, rather than just not do anything. It'd be better if I was working out 3 days a week, but it's better that I do this than nothing. Anyway, the other thing is, if I'm a domestic company and it's gonna cost me way more money to import something that I need from another country, all I'm gonna do is find another source, right? If it costs too much to import from China, the reason I was importing from China because it was cheap, it's not cheap anymore, then I'm going to do exactly what I did that got me to China, right? How did I get to China? I needed cheap goods. I looked around, China was the cheapest. If that changes, back to square one. Who's got the cheapest? Taiwan? Okay, let me go do a deal with Taiwan. So other countries will benefit from the tariffs as domestic companies start getting their goods from other foreign sources. Genius. So regardless, prices are going to go up. They're going to go up immediately because of the tariffs. They're going to go up as a result of, people moving to domestic manufacturing. So that's going to make things really difficult. The very reasons that Trump won, this is going to make it worse. People are running away from, cost of living, and this will push things up. However, there's one thing that the left-wing media is missing out on. Trump is a buffoon. Trump is sort of all over the place. He is self-interested. He does whatever, benefits him. He says something, he looks at the crowd reaction, that type of thing. So, because of all the negativity regarding tariffs, he may not do them, or he may not do them as aggressively as he's saying he is. He may back down on some of these and then pretend as if, the whole strategy all along was never to actually do the tariffs. It was some kind of negotiating tactic to try and pressure companies and blah, blah, and then try to, pretend as if he actually won, just like he did with Mexico, right? He just lie to his base, and the right-wing media will just, prop it up, whatever lie, whatever manipulation, they're just going to prop it up. So a lot of the people on the right will never know the truth of what's happening. But the thing about it is, you don't know what he's going to do. So going hardcore about tariffs are crazy and prices are going to go up. What happens when Trump starts his term, doesn't do the tariffs, so prices don't go up, and in fact, things start, to continue to improve as they have been, right? Inflation is down. A lot of the economic indicators are moving in a positive direction. So all he has to do is not really mess things up too much. And, he can point to how things have improved since he won, right? Because if things are going in a positive direction, if he doesn't, mess things up, immediately, they'll continue to go in that direction. And he can just brag and, left-wing media was telling you about the price is going to go up, all this kind of stuff. And I told you, fake news. Look at this. Prices haven't gone up. They've actually gone down. And unemployment is down. The stock market is high. Right? All the same stuff that, almost no person on the right will want to acknowledge right now. He's going to brag about then and say, this is what, I've done to the economy's running on all cylinders because of blah, blah, right? And then again, you guys in the left-wing media kind of look a little bit silly. Pointing out a lot of things you guys are is good, and you should, but don't get too definitive, right, about this price is going to go up thing. Very likely going to happen, but it may not happen, right? Some dishonest people will use that as a way, a defense of supporting him, to just say, oh, we just wait and see. And that's not what I'm saying at all. His term is going to be disastrous, but we just don't know exactly in what way it's going to be disastrous. So to, saying it as a definitive thing that, prices are going to go up and the tariffs are going to blah, that's a little bit dangerous, right? It's a likely scenario, but it's not a guaranteed scenario. So make sure when you're talking about it, you also, informing your audience about that. Because again, if he doesn't go that route, it's going to be another scenario where, again, you guys look like you're fake news. You were lying all along and blah, and fear-mongering and you're not. You're pointing out legitimate things. But again, the main problem is don't be too definitive when you're talking about what a buffoon, unstable, guy like Trump might or might not do, right? Nobody knows what he's going to do other than it's going to be chaos. That's the only thing that you can guarantee. It's going to be chaos. It's going to be very bad for the country. But in what way? That's the thing we'll have to wait and see. We're not going to wait and see whether things will be okay or he might actually do some good things. No, what we need to wait and see is in exactly what way is he going to make things really bad. Also, conservatives, what happened to the free markets? What happened to not liking big government? That government needs to stay out of our way. Think about you as a small business owner. You work so hard to build your business. And now you got the big government trying to strong arm you into telling you where you should and shouldn't buy your stuff from. You're a private company. Shouldn't you be able to buy from wherever the hell you want to? Isn't that a core conservative principle? Shouldn't the government, if anything, be incentivizing them to do things domestically as opposed to trying to strong arm them? I'm going to absolutely cripple your business by raising the cost big time for the goods that you need for your products so that you have no other option, supposedly, but not really, but to manufacture here. Like that imagine if Kamala had won and this is a strategy that she employed. I guarantee you, Ben Shapiro would make some smart ass video about how this is inappropriate.
And Kamala doesn't know anything about how to run a business. This thing about tariffs, and here's what the left is not telling you. Tariffs are actually a tax on the importer. And, this is actually hurting small businesses. The big corporations, they have the big money. They can afford to pay more money. They have all these options. But it's the small business owners that are going to get hurt. But Kamala, she's an idiot. She was just hired because of her skin color. And this is the kind of, they say that we're fascist and authoritarian. But what is this? Government strong-arming small businesses, telling them where they should buy stuff? These are people, small business owners, know way more about business than Kamala ever will. Like, how dare she try to interfere with their business? This is inappropriate. And
this is a violation of our freedom.